You know the exact feeling. You put on the right clothes, you hit every deadline, you outwork everyone in the room, and yet, staring back at you in the mirror is someone completely exhausted, carrying a weight nobody else sees. We tell ourselves the cure is a few steps away: a higher salary, a better title, a new city. We assume that if we can just reorder the outside world, the internal noise will finally quiet down. In this masterclass, we are going to dismantle that cycle. You're going to learn a structural methodology to stop reacting to external circumstances and start commanding your internal reality. Attempting to fix internal emptiness through external achievement is a dead end. The math doesn't work. You are simply adding more load to an engine that is already overheating. To understand how to rebuild, we have to look at how we break. My baseline was extreme poverty in a village with no walls to protect us. As a child, I was given the nickname Wildcat because I pried from the sheer smell of a biscuit tin. I didn't know if I could even eat what was inside. My hunger just forced the sound out of me. When you grow up watching a parent buckle under the shame of survival, like my father standing in a police station under Section 135F for stealing copper wire just to buy rice, you don't just witness that trauma, you absorb it. It becomes a psychological burden passed down through the bloodline. By 2011, I had achieved the outward dream. I had the incentives, the salary, and 3 split ACs in the house. On paper, I had solved every problem I grew up with. But I was living a balloon life. On the outside, everything looked expanded, colorful, and successful. But the interior was nothing but pressurized air, waiting for a single pinprick of stress to cause a total depressive explosion. If you do not actively intercept this cycle, if you leave those unhealed wounds to drive your current actions, you will inevitably pass that same anxiety straight into your children's future. Changing cities didn't solve it. Changing jobs didn't solve it. I blamed toxic colleagues and bad luck, but wherever I went, the hollow feeling followed. The geography changed, the anxiety remained constant. The shift occurred when my spiritual mentor, Sri Bhagavana Aya, forced me to confront a difficult reality. The root of all my suffering was strictly confined to my own mind. The world was just a backdrop. My reaction to it was the source of the pain. This chart breaks down human energy mechanics. We exhaust focus on outer engineering, trying to manipulate reality. But inner engineering, observing your mind's reactions, conserves that energy. Master this internal framework, and external negative inputs lose power. When people mocked me for looking like a child holding a baby, I no longer absorbed the insult. By detaching from the emotional reaction, I could convert their negativity into fuel for my own execution. True resilience isn't about ignoring pain. It's about building a mental structure that stops the energy leak. When you stop fighting the feeling, that energy is finally free to drive you forward. When you command your mind, you generate a peace that others can rely on. In 2008, moving my wife and 6-month-old daughter to Chennai in a battered Omnivan was an act of unbreakable familial trust. It was an execution of total clarity. Years later, the Parvatha Malai trek served as a biological lie detector test for the human mind. The challenge wasn't the mountain itself. It was the conversation I was having with myself while climbing it. Halfway up a vertical rock face, your lungs scream that you cannot go further. That is a biological deception. The untrained mind hears the body and surrenders. The mastered mind identifies the lie and takes the next step anyway. We have codified this exact process into the inner honesty protocol. It is the specific system required to identify these biological and psychological lies in real time. High performance is achieved by understanding your mind's deceptions, rather than trying to forcefully change the world around you. You can spend the next 15 years trying to figure this out through trial and error, absorbing the stress of your career and the weight of your past. Or you can utilize a proven, direct system. This is the 8-month live, spiritual, and life mastery mentorship. It is the specific pathway from the broken mirror to the clarity we've discussed. The program is built on 3 specialized modules: the Mind Mastery System, the Relationship Matrix, and weekly live guidance. The weekly live guidance is the most critical component. Destructive mental habits are stubborn. When you start to slip back into the balloon life, these live sessions provide the external friction needed to keep you on the path. This is not an expense. It is a time machine. It allows you to reclaim thousands of hours you would otherwise lose to anxiety and overthinking in the coming decade. Compare the investment in this program against the immeasurable cost of remaining in your current state for another 10 years. The math of staying where you are is far more expensive. We eliminate the risk with a 100% money-back guarantee. If your mind doesn't shift and your internal peace isn't secured, you do not pay. If you believe you don't have the time for this, realize that a lack of time is actually a symptom of the chaotic mind this program is built to cure. Our enrollment window is strictly limited. A truth I live by. Ora seriana muriva, muru valkeeum neraga neritum. One right decision today will straighten out your entire lifetime. Secure your spot. Stop living the hollow balloon life. Click the link below, join the mentorship, and claim mastery over your reality right now.